Right here on New at 5:30, a Kentucky Republican running for Mitch McConnell's U.S. Senate seat is throwing his full support behind President Donald Trump's tariffs and the trade negotiations.
Congressman Andy Barr of Lexington tells us in the long run, it'll be jet fuel for our economy.
WHS 11's Isaiah Kim Martinez talked to Andy Barr at Churchill Downs on Oak Day. And Isaiah, you talked about the huge remodeling project of Churchill Downs put on hold because of the tariffs.
Well, Doug, we did. And, you know, there was a bit of a tone shift, right? When Andy Barr first launched his campaign for Senate a couple weeks ago, he didn't explicitly say President Trump's tariffs would benefit Kentucky's economy. But when I talked to him at the track on Friday, he didn't shy away from that endorsement. On the heels of Derby 151 and Churchill Downs pausing a $900 million renovation project because of President Trump's tariffs on China.
The policy agenda overall is very, very good for Churchill Downs.
The CEO cited tariffs. He cited Chinese tariffs. I mean, is it hurting Kentucky in that way?
What I think is that in the short term, there's obviously turbulence with this.
Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr, a U.S. Senate candidate to replace Mitch McConnell, throwing his full support behind Trump's trade policies and their impact on the historic track, one of the state's major moneymakers.
We need the turbulence because in the long run, we're going to have access to markets and we're going to have less disruption and we're going to have more free trade. And thank goodness he's doing it because it gives us the chance to level the playing field. And in the long run, it'll be jet fuel for our economy.
Barr spoke to me on Oaks Day at Churchill Downs, also to advocate for a bill he's refiled in Congress. It's called the Race Act, with aims to make it easier for your average household to own a share of a racehorse.
It's caught on fire, but there are security law impediments. And so we want to make it easier, safe, but easier for small investors to get in the game.
The bill, if passed, would boost formats like MyRacehorse.com, offering racehorse ownership with shares starting under $100.
And the way it works now is that every single time you buy a horse, you have to, in essence, go through the qualification process all over again, which is extremely difficult, and it's proven to be challenging for the business overall.
Michael Behrens is the site's founder and CEO.
I would be able to go live within a week of buying a racehorse, where now I think about it in more of months.
Barr's goal is to ease federal regulations to widen the pool of Kentuckians who want to invest. And I asked again, with primaries a year away, about the quest for the Trump endorsement in this Senate race. Has President Trump told you that he's leaning your way?
Well, look, President Trump has told me how much that he's heard that we're doing a great job, and he knows that I'm the one guy that's in a position to help him.
That wasn't a no.
No, we're trying to earn his endorsement.
So Andy Barr all in on the trade, the tariffs here, even though when he's Churchill Downs recently just said the reason why they scaled back on that major investment was precisely that, and uncertainty in the economy.
Well, Doug, Connie, it was sort of interesting to see those points made back to back, right? Here he is saying, you know, full on, we support the tariffs. Long term, it's going to reduce trade barriers with other countries. It's going to help this country. It's going to help this state, help Churchill Downs. And then at that same point, he's also saying, well, you know, we also understand that there's going to be some turbulence and volatility in the short term. And Churchill Downs, $900 million is no small investment. And for that to be put on hold indefinitely, even Andy Barr acknowledges there is a big deal. So you're sort of seeing these two things. Can you have it all? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Isaiah.